Hey, everybody. Welcome back to a new episode of Entropia content. No, today's big special is I got the news. I finally was able to crack the DVD and get it dumped. So now we have the contents of the Entropia DVD, and I found out what year it was from because it never said on the case. And the case was correct. It does contain promotional movies and affiliate and partnership information, which I found very funny because I didn't know what it meant by that, and now I do. So we won't get right to the greatest part of the episode yet. We've got a whole bunch of stuff to catch up on what's happened in Entropia, because I haven't even played for like a week. It's really the longest I ever go without playing lately. And our auction results are all finished. Maybe we can get some more stuff on auction today and push ourselves back up to 5,000. It looks like we're at 4,640. That's pretty good. Let's check what else we got. Oh yeah, we got some people in the chat already. Garnet's here, and he says, Leland, Wendy, the slow adult from the Howard Stern show, has a channel on here called Wendy Pack. So go say hi to her later tonight. If you stream, it would be funny. Yeah, that does sound funny. I'll have to find out how to say hi to her. If anyone knows how to do that, let me know. Is she in like a certain location on Calypso or something? Oh yeah, and I got a message from Entropia when I logged in. They said be prepared for slow servers. So I'm not sure what happened, if they have a whole bunch of people or what's going on. For some reason they got some slow servers. Oh yeah, bikini shop item sold. Oh yeah, I think that happened before. So we'll collect that money later. Item shop sold. So let's see who bought it. Oh yeah, Brianna Wicked Paramore. So thanks, Brianna. If anyone's want to help her out and buy some of her stuff on auction or her shops, that's who's helping me out. Brianna Wicked Paramore. Alright, let's see. The Mankini. It got one bid. For some reason that's funny because I could have swore it had two. But no, it got one bid, but thank you. Oh, the person who bought it for less than I paid to put it on auction. So I lost money selling another Mankini. Oh well. I really got to stop trying to sell those Mankinis on auction. So far I've only lost money. Oh well, live and learn. Lots of living, not so much learning. Alright, let's go to the the Styler trucker hat. It did not sell at all, which really sucks. No bids. Disc brake sold for 4. That's pretty good. Thank you, Alex. Or Alexander, if you prefer. Rocktech Blueprint. Or no, lamp. Rocktech lamp. It sold 2. Thanks, Alexander. Appreciate it. Holy shit. Dan420 picked up the Spanish flag from us. Thanks, Dan. I think we'll have to put more of those for sale. Oh, Miss Jackson. She purchased the Polish flag. Thanks, Miss Jackson. No bids on that one. Combustor sold for +2. Thanks, Tony. No one bought the bearings. Basic sensor. No one bought it. Oh, Romanian. Holy shit. Bought KW bottle. Or bottle BG. Let me see how to say that. Collector. The bot collector. Hey, Dan Davis. He got us the first like. 2 viewers and a like. Thanks, everybody. No, look at that, though. Someone bought the Romanian flag for 10. You know what that means? We got to put more of those for sale. I think we have like 20 copies. Can you imagine we sold each one for 10? I can only wish. That was like, that paid for all my auction mistakes, though. So I really appreciate it, bot collector. Bot collector rocked today. Yeah, it's always nice to get some good news about something selling well on auction. Let's go check out how the shop stuff has been doing. Holy shit, we're up to 44 on the shop. So we could pump it up to 4,680 if we wanted. Holy shit, we got over another 10 on this. So that'd be 80, 90. So we could almost push it to yeah, we're probably getting close to 4,700. Now, dear God, if I'm at 4,700, where am I going to come up with this extra 300? We're getting damn close to an auction bid for the shopkeeper. I'll have to find out where I left all my best Project Entropia dollars. Oh yeah, and I got some good news about the DVD also. If anyone didn't hear, I got the content ripped, like actually dumped from the DVD. But I wasn't sure if I was going to be allowed to share it. Because, you know, Mindark, they might copyright strike it. So I actually messaged Mindark. And they were so fast to respond that with like in an hour or two, they responded and said, sure, use all the content you'd like on the show. I was like, really? It's like, wow, that was really nice of them. So props to Mindark. Not only did they get back to me super fast, but with a great answer. So hopefully that answer doesn't backfire, and when I use the content, I'll still get a copyright strike for the music or something, but I'm hoping that I'm actually really allowed to play it. Holy shit, yeah, we got some shopkeepers on auction, and they're actually going for around 5,000. Isn't that crazy? If I could get that one for 5,000, I would be so happy. Oh wait, let me check if it's a hot chick. Oh yeah, it is a hot chick too. You can tell I need to get out more. It's a lockdown, I swear. It's not like I was like this normally in life. Yeah, I love being able to blame the lockdowns for all my problems. Now, I shouldn't say all, though. There's at least one or two I can't. Alright, another hot chick. I'd say I like them both pretty equally. Although, I'm not too sure about their hairstyle. Can the hairstyle be changed with the barbershop terminals? Does anyone know that? Yeah, I was always wondering that. Once you get a shopkeeper pad, can you put them in the body modification devices? Change all their properties? That'd be funny. I didn't want to say make boobs bigger, but hey, we'll see. Now, their boobs aren't so bad in size. And I really need a shopkeeper. Alright, let's see. God, man, that would be so sweet when I can put a bid on a shopkeeper. We're getting damn close. Fuck. Wish there was a way that I could increase my Project Entropia dollars. Too bad it didn't sell, eh? It's kind of a bitch, man. I could have swore it would. Yeah, normally it sells for 7. What the fuck? Couldn't even get 1. I don't know. I'm going to retrieve that one and put some more stuff on auction. But that's not what we're going to do today. Since today's the weekend, there's all these players running around. What time is it? 10 o'clock? Shit, I really should put the stuff for auction quick. Alright, let's finish quick and put it for sale, and then we'll get going. Now, what does everyone else want to see me do in Entropia first? Go to the sweat area, say hi to some people, or maybe check out the Entropia DVD while we sweat. I'll show some content from it. The content from it is mind-blowing. Like, the movies aren't so great, because if you search YouTube enough, you can actually find them all. But if you go to the PDF files that I got, those are the ones that are hard to find. I don't think anyone else has really dumped those before. Maybe they have, but I don't know. I think it could be a one-of-a-kind thing, so we'll check it out later. Alright, so we got 54 in explosive projectiles. That's not bad. And that makes me wonder, did we save enough nanocubes to do some crafting? Bet you we did. Alright, so let's go to my storage, take out the blueprints I need to sell, then we'll check out the Entropia DVD. Now, I hope everyone else has been doing well. I've been doing great, getting back into shape, working out at work constantly. The only thing is work kind of was a bit stressful. No, my brother was needing, or my boss was needing me to do some supervising, and I wasn't doing the greatest at it. But when it came down to the shoveling portions of the job, I definitely did well on that. I just got to realize that's my strong suit. I really can't supervise anyone anymore, getting the jobs done quick, unless it's just me shoveling like a maniac. There's not much else I'm going to be able to do to speed it up. Yeah, they're saying the lag is bad, but I don't find it that bad. Lamp, combustor, disc brake, Spanish flag, Romanian flag. See, it won't take me long to put this stuff on auction because I hardly got any. I'm actually getting down to the bottom of what I wanted to sell on auction, which is pretty surprising. I never thought I'd make it halfway to the bottom. Normally I always take off and don't stay on Calypso long enough to bother selling everything. But I figured, man, now that I'm getting so close to the goal, we really should stick around and try to play it to the end. Well, what the hell, I got 2 basic sensors. Son of a... Alright, let's go put this stuff for sale on auction, and we're getting damn close to actually checking out what I wanted to see, the Entropia DVD. And if anyone's watching or wondering if I actually did the reaction videos yet, no. All I did was check the videos, make sure they worked, see if I could find any duplicates on YouTube, and I did find them, but they were pretty obscure. Like, I have to admit, like, the people that have found the videos before, I don't know how they got their copies. Maybe Mindark used to post it on YouTube and just took them down. But, yeah, hardly anyone had watched it. Maybe 100 or 2, so you'll probably definitely be watching it for the first time, unless you were one of the 100 that watched it on someone else's channel. Alright, so... Oh, yeah, and I found some bunch of new information about Never Die Out. Kind of really sad information and kind of optimistic information at the same time. So we'll go over some of that. Dear God, I miss playing Entropia so much. I kept thinking about it the whole time I wasn't playing it. I was like, dear God, I can't believe how long I've spent not playing Entropia. I went on a binge of playing it every day for streaming and then took a big binge of not playing it. I think that's what you have to do with Entropia sometimes. I don't know, other people can play it non-stop, but... Well, I should say I played it non-stop for like 10 years plus. That's what I was thinking. This DVD that I got in 2008, I remember that I'd already played Entropia before I got the DVD. So that means I started before 2008. And when I looked at my start date on the creation page, it said 2008. So I might have actually lost my first account. I was thinking that's might what have happened. Or I just started at the beginning of 2008 and then went to the convention near the end of the year. That could be it too. Alright, let's go 10. Hopefully someone buys it. If anyone wants to help, you can buy my sensor. Bids start at $1 or Project Entropia $1. Alright, I'm just going to get some of these on sale quick. I'm not going to spend too much time researching to see who's got what bids placed for how much. Alright, Spanish flag. We'll put them all for 10 buyout. If anyone wants to help like that other person did and buy one of them for 10, that'd be great. Or you can get a cheap deal and just put a one project Entropia dollar bid. Now, some of the weird stuff about the Entropia DVD was like seeing what the game used to look like in 2008. I was like, holy shit, man, I really forgot how much they had upgraded the game. Like, it does really look like a drastically different game. Even back then when you were recording videos, like the promotional videos on this DVD, they're not the greatest quality. Even though they called it a DVD quality, I'm pretty sure it's pretty down low on the quality rating. If I had to guess, probably 540 resolution or 720 at best. No, it would be less. It would be 480. 480i, I think it is. But it's just the highest that MindArc had at the time. Because that's what was popular back in 2008. Can you imagine? No, it's funny to see MindArc, how they had just, like, 2008, like this promotional thing, you could tell that it was like such a new company at that point. Like really they had just started, or at least they had just started working on Entropia. And it's weird to see the difference about how their office has changed, how their employees have turned over. I don't know how many people are even still the same. Probably a few are still the same, because yeah, I think I recognize one guy. Well, and Never Die. Never Die's been there pretty much the whole time. Alright, so I think that's all the blueprints I want to put for sale. Got my flags, couple Rock Tech prints. If anyone wants to help buy these, it would definitely help out the show. I don't have any big seller this time. Oh yeah, that's what I might have. Do I have any nano cubes left? Or did I already sell back all my nano cubes? Because remember, didn't I buy a whole big stack of nano cubes? Let's go check. No, we already used up all the nano cubes. Alright, so the only thing I'll have left to sell then is the explosive projectiles, and then we should be done with the auction. For some reason I thought we were making more, but I guess not. Now, if anyone hasn't seen this trick before, usually what I do is try to sell an even number. Oh wait, this is going into the auction, never mind. I was thinking the trade terminal trick, but then I'm like, wait a minute, I don't need to do it because it's going on the auction. Must have just left it in storage. Won't be selling it if it's in storage. At least this way I'll have one larger ticket item that's actually for sale. Well, if I can make up some of the money back. Alright, well let's check out what people are actually buying these for. I'm kind of interested. So if you have an 87 stack 104, alright, so let's try 58. If anyone wants to help out the show, you can buy 58 Project Entropia dollars worth of explosive projectile prints, and that'll push us up to like the 4,700 mark after those blueprints or whatever sell. Oh god, then we'll be up to 4,800 with all the other stuff from the shop. Wow, it's starting to get pretty intense. I gotta figure out what else do I have left that I can sell. I'm probably gonna have to go up to my FOMA shop, see if I can gut any of it for stuff to sell. You know, that's what I do sometimes is I get on such a selling binge that I'll try to like sell every last thing I own on auction just to like totally clean out everything. It's kind of hard to do, but oh yeah, that's the other thing. We'll try reselling the hat. Hopefully this time someone will place a bid. If anyone else wants to help place a bid, that'd be great. Alright, now let's check. Alright, now we're starting to get a decent amount. If people went on a buying spree, we'd be okay. Hopefully one of these things will sell for the full buyout. Boom. Then we'll make our money back. Alright, well, let's get to the action. Now that we got all the work done in the game, all the house cleaning. Let's go see what's happening new in the game. I think one of the better places to go and meet a whole bunch of people. That's what I realized too. When I was watching the promotional DVD for Entropia, you know what I realized is in the game when it first launched, they had like a list of what they thought people would do that would be popular in the game. And I was like, it's funny, that's what I thought would be popular too, but it doesn't match what we actually do these days. So I'll show people what was the difference about that. Now, I guess I'll tell them right now, it's like the Entropia officials, like Mindark people, they used to talk about how there would be stuff people would want to do in the game. They had a list of it, and the list included hunting, crafting, or whatever, all the different stuff that costs money. But then they also included, real estate ownership, where people would play it like a virtual universe and like show off the place they live. So I was like, that was a big theme in the beginning of the game. It was like they really wanted everyone to have an apartment and like soup it up and buy and sell items to use in their apartments. I don't think a lot of players do that these days, eh? Like when you talk to people playing Entropia, how many times do they say, hey, let's go see my apartment? I don't know, maybe they do, but God, there's no one here sweating, eh? This really sucks. Whatever happened to the sweat community on Calypso? Everyone must have left. I hate sweating at Boreas with a passion. I'd almost rather go stand at the oil rig than do that. Alright, so we'll go check and see if there's any other places people are sweating. If anyone in the chat knows a sweat circle on Entropia, let me know. Or not Entropia, Calypso. Like, I know a few spots that they have them, obviously, because I sweated for years, but normally that's my go-to spot. No one's there. Alright, I'm going to crack open a bottle of wine. You can tell I've already opened it earlier, but I recorked it. That's what she said. No, I'm just kidding. I wish. If anyone's wondering what I'm drinking, it's Monroe's mead. It's a sweet mead. It almost really tastes like I'm just drinking a bottle of honey, except it's 11% alcohol. Man, in the olden days, when they realized that you could make alcohol from honey, can you imagine how great of a discovery that must have been? And all they had to do is add water. So it's like, what are the odds that that didn't happen like right off the beginning when they first started collecting honey? Like, whoops, spilled some water in it. Right, so there's no sweating anywhere on Calypso right now. So let's go check Boring Ass. If there's nothing there, we'll have to go and try to get fucking oil at the rig while we cover what's on the DVD. Oh god, man, I love this stuff. If I could drink this stuff every day, I would. It's just too expensive. I don't know how I'm ever going to afford it. I think one day what I'll have to do is get a property big enough that I can have a beehive and then brew my own mead. So really, I won't have to worry about having to buy it. I can just make my own. Similar to weed. When Canada legalized, I can just grow 4 plants a year. That's easily enough for me to grow everything I need to smoke. Especially if I grow more than one kind. 4 plants gives you 4 options, right? So man, if I get to the future where I got my own beehives and I can collect my own honey, so I don't have to buy the honey, because that's the real expensive part. So if you start getting free honey, boom, you're set. Or I could just find a cheap supply for honey. I'll have to try to do that. Alright, so let's talk about the DVD a little bit more, because we should talk about that before I get too sidetracked. What the DVD entails is when I was going to a convention, let's bring it up actually. Let's see what year it was. I should type it in manually. Hopefully, yeah, there we go. Fan Expo Wikipedia. Right, so I'll bring up the convention so people can see which convention I'm even talking about. And I'll actually have some video footage from this convention coming out soon on my channel. So if people actually want to see the convention where I got this disc, you'll see actual footage from it. I admit it's going to be really old and grainy footage. Probably look like it's like from the 70s compared to what today's video standards are. But anyways, let's go to the convention page. So this is the convention that I got the DVD at, and we'll read it briefly here. Maybe I'll make it a little bit bigger. That's what she wants. No, just kidding. Right, no, in case anyone's watching on a cell phone. But anyways, so here, Fan Expo is a convention held in Toronto. Was founded in 1995. And I definitely didn't start going then, but I did start going close to the beginning. Let's see. The first year I went was the year after Jerry Ryan. So I missed Jerry Ryan's autograph. Can you imagine that? So that was the first year I started going, was in the year 2000. So that's when Riker was there. I got her autograph. If anyone wants to see that later on the show, just let me know. I can show you what her autograph looks like. I haven't got Riker's autograph. I think my brother might have. Oh yeah, and I also got to meet the entire cast of Earth Final Conflict. So that was before the show started, really, or was popular. Or yeah, it was popular and started, but I didn't start watching it till after I met them. So that was kind of neat, though, that I got to meet the entire cast of a show I really liked. And I think the year that we got the disc at, let's see who was there. Here it was, 2008. Oh fuck, man, that was the year Buzz Aldrin was there. Son of a bitch. You know what really pisses me off about this year? Well, you've probably heard it on the show before. This is the year I stopped taping the Fan Expo. What really pisses me off, you know what speech I really needed? Was the Buzz Aldrin one. You know why I stopped taping it? Because when I went to it, there was a whole fucking auditorium with people with camcorders taping it. So I was like, for surely someone will post this somewhere. I don't need to tape it. What do you know, when I get home and check, no one posted it. So I was like, you sons of bitches. Thousands of people recorded it. No one posted it. So yeah, that's the interview I needed, and that's the year that the convention CD came. What are the odds, right? It's weird how things connect like that. Woo! What did we get going there? Okay, easy, easy. So anyways, someone at this convention was giving away Star Trek or video game stuff, like lots of different video game booths. So I guess Mindark had some promotional DVDs sent with someone, and they gave them away at this convention. And I was one of the 50 or 48,000 people that got a copy. I don't know, some people might have got 2 copies. Some people might have even picked up the copy, because it was like on tables. They're like, hey, do you want like promotional swag? I was like, sure. And it was funny too, because I remember they offered me the Entropia DVD. They're like, do you want this? I'm like, already have the game. They're like, oh, I shouldn't give it to you then. And then I'm like, oh, maybe I don't have it. And they're like, okay. So then I took it. I was like, yeah, I wanted it just because it looked cool. Even though I already had the game. No, I think I wasn't sure too. Like when I got back to the hotel, I'm like, is this the game I have? And then I was like, oh shit, it is. Alright, so let's get back to Entropia. So the mystery of this disc came is when I decided to dig it out of storage because I was wondering what it was on it. Like I never actually even put the disc in the computer before because I already had the game. And I never really got curious to bother looking until recently because I was like, hey, wonder what the fuck's on this DVD. So when I read the DVD case, it says that it's got Entropia client software, the Entropia universe information and promotional movies. And then it says it's got information for the affiliate and partnership program. So when anyone's wondering, like, I don't know what the affiliate stuff was at the beginning. Something like you could refer other people to play the game. But the partnership information it has is the legal or like the promotional stuff if you want to buy a planet. So if you've ever seen the pitch like Entropia does to other people to say, hey, buy an entire planet. That's what's on this disc. It's actually got the pitch for that. So I think what at the convention they were doing is they're trying to get huge investors to actually buy planets in Entropia. So that's why they were giving these DVDs away. So isn't that kind of neat that the partnership program information, I don't know if anyone's ever shared that before, but now I got a copy of it. It's pretty wild, eh? I don't know, to people that aren't into the history of stuff, they probably don't care, but I thought it was kind of neat. And a lot of it's changed since, so it's kind of neat to see what it used to be like to buy into Entropia. Alright, next I think what I'll do is I'm going to try playing the DVDs, and I want to see if the sound actually works so I can hear it too. Because I don't want to talk over it. So it's probably good that I should actually be able to hear it too. And hopefully it doesn't flag my channel with copyright music. If it does, I'll have to remove that part. Hopefully it doesn't cause strikes or anything. I'll learn my lesson pretty quick. God, I love mead. No, I haven't been drinking really at all since I got back to work and got back into shape, so nice to have a little drink for a change. Alright, so I think next thing what we'll do is I'll put in my headphones so I can hear what's going on. It'd be interesting to see if I can hear Entropia playing right now. I might actually turn the game sound off for while we watch the videos. Oh my god, I can actually hear the game. Yeah, so the annoying part about hearing the game, obviously, is the sound of the sweating. I always forget that. Fuck, it's pretty loud. Alright, so let's ditch the sweating area, and we'll have to go somewhere quieter to watch the videos. Holy, these creatures are so loud. I can still hear them. Alright, now I hear the turret sound, which sounds awfully familiar. Now, sadly, I can't hear my soundboard effects. I really should turn those back on, but then I can hear my voice, and if I can hear my own voice, it doesn't sound good. Alright, I think it's quiet enough in here that we should be able to watch an Entropia video. Yeah, let's go a better background. Let's go to the roof of Emerald Lakes Mall. Oh, I know which one we should go to. It's actually part of the video's theme, so we should go there. I don't know if anyone's heard of New Oxford before, but apparently at some point in Entropia's history, New Oxford was like huge. So let's go to New Oxford. Come on, headphone. You want to fuck off? I'm like pushing it in my ear and it stays fine for like a minute and then it just fucking pops out on its own. Piece of shit. Sorry, a little bit cranky. New Oxford. Oh my god, it popped out again. Fucking piece of shit, man. Is it too much to ask for a fucking headphone to stay in? Ooh, it sounds like a jungle here. Oh yeah, this giant fucking shit. Alright, so this New Oxford teleporter. Holy shit, this is loud. Yeah, this New Oxford teleporter. I wonder if I can turn that down a bit. Alright, that's a little better. Alright, so what we'll do... Holy shit. Look at... Is that the New Oxford buildings? Those are pretty cool. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll go in the New Oxford Mall. And hopefully there's no sound in here. There, sound has vanished. Alright, so it says the first shop is owned by Jason Maximus Landon. And that's his sign there that says welcome. So let's check out what the videos are like on Entropia. Actually, let's check out what the... start from the beginning before we jump too far ahead. The next part of this adventure includes the actual pictures themselves. So let's check it out. So what happened is I took the DVD and I dumped it. Like I put it in an old computer. I had to find an older computer that had a DVD-ROM drive that I could read it. So that was a challenge, but luckily my mom's computer, it was old enough that it still had a DVD drive, so I was able to dump it with that. And where's the file? 1 second. Oh yeah, here it is. So what I did, fucking piece of shit, that's not the file. Here it is. That's why. Oh, for fuck's sakes, now I'm on the wrong spot again. Alright, so this is what happened when I dumped the file into the computer. This is the picture that I got back on my hard drive or on the computer, is from here down. Actually, what happened was, at first, when I put the DVD in, it gave me 2 folders to pick from. FS Command or Media. So what I did is I copied those 2 folders and added them to another folder that I called Entropia DVD, so that I made a DVD folder that had both the FS Command, the media, and then I just copied the entire disk image and pasted it in as well. And when I pasted the whole disk image, it gave me all these extra folders, which included the videos. So that's why the date is different. If anyone's looking here, they can see that the date it's modified is 2021. It's because that's when I copied those into this folder. But the original date is 2008. So that's how I know how old the DVD is now. I'm just guessing because it says the date of 2008. And it says April the 14th at around 9 p.m. So they were working late that night. Right, so what I got off the disk was not only the media files, but when you click this media folder, it opens and brings up 2 PDFs. So those PDF contents, that's the big one. The big one that'll show us like what's really going on here, right? Like it's the one that shows like what is it, the affiliate and the partnership program information. Those are in the PDFs. So I think for right now what we'll do first is check out a reaction video to the first Entropia trailer video, the one that says EU trailer 2. I haven't actually watched the whole thing yet. I just watched a few seconds of it to see if I liked it or not. And what I'll do is I'll pause it and we'll review it as we go. So I'll say what I think about watching this trailer, about what Entropia used to be like when I first started playing it in around 2008. Yeah, how many years ago is it since 2008? Sounds like it's not that long ago, like 12 years, but I could have swore it was longer than that. Alright, so what am I looking for? That is wrong. Oh, there it is, headphones. It's caught in my phone. Alright, so if anyone else wants to see a different video first, some of these are pretty long, so I don't know if we'll get a chance to watch the whole thing, so we might just do whatever videos people put in the chat first. And if anyone wants to jump to the PDF files, let me know too, because I'm pretty sure I'm just going to hit the vape while we watch a few of these trailers. I don't think they're actually that long. Some of them are long, but others aren't. As you can see, this one's only 17 kilobytes. Actually, that one, or 17,000, I think that's a longer one. I don't know. Let's check it out. Well, yeah, and this is the cover of the DVD. So if anyone's wondering what the cover looks like, that's what it is. You can see it better than when I try to show it, because when I tried to show it, it'll just vanish on the screen. It's the algorithm, right? It'll show me, but usually nothing I'm holding. DVD. So you can see it says DVD in the bottom corner. It's an actual DVD from Mindark. That's how I was thinking. Some people were offering me money for this, and no one really made a specific offer, but I'm pretty poverty, and if someone wants to set like a Guinness record, they could buy it from me. But I don't want to sell it for cheap, because dear God, it's one of my favorite possessions I own. So maybe just find someone else who was at the convention and got one. There's probably like 50,000 other people. I doubt everyone saved their copy though. For 12 years. Alright, anyway, so let's see. Now maybe you can break a Guinness record. Send me $1 million for the DVD and you can be famous on YouTube. You could probably get like 100,000 views on YouTube and make a fortune just from buying the DVD. I hope. No, really, I don't want anyone to buy the DVD because I want to keep it. So hopefully no one does actually make some stupid, crazy offer. Alright, so here's the back of the DVD, if anyone wants to see what it's all about. See, what is the Entropia universe? The Entropia universe is more than just a game. It's a universe that is for real people, real activities, and real cash economy, and a massive online universe. Join people from around the globe who use the Entropia universe currency, the Project Entropia dollar, which they really should have found a better acronym. But in 2008, maybe that was a cool word. But anyways, to develop their characters every day on the untamed planet Eclipso. Yeah, so this is, I think, before, well, I shouldn't say before Rocktropia, because they mentioned Rocktropia quite a few times. So maybe it was in the early stages of Rocktropia, but anyways. The unique and secure real cash economy allows you to transfer your money back into the real world funds. So that's where this gets really weird, is we get into the PDF files. It talks about how you actually used to be able to use an ATM machine. I think it's even in one of the videos. So we'll get to that, and I know people talked about that at the beginning you could actually just withdraw straight from Entropia, but I was never sure if they were making it up or not. But it turns out this DVD talks all about it, so yeah, we'll learn more about the history when we watch it. Alright, so it says you can apply for an account, install the free client software. Once you're approved, you get a password and all that. Alright, they're populated with fierce, dangerous creatures. The wilderness of Calypso is also rich in minerals, ore, both of which can be lucrative sources of income for would-be colonists. Online around the clock for decades to come, the Entropia universe is continually enhanced with the new concept every month, and supported by the Entropia Universe Development Team. What's the one hot babe's name? Maya, I think it is. Yep, so they've got some really talented people working on it. Alright, so let's go on to the DVD. I can't believe we have the DVD to check. It took me so long to dump it, but we finally did. Alright, let's get to it. Can't wait any longer. So which one we're going to do? EU Trailer 2. Let's go to that one first. God, the intensity. Alright, I have it ready here. EU Trailer 2. I'll try to get the sound ready. If anyone thinks the sound's really awful, let me know. And this file is 63,000 kilobytes, recorded at 950. I don't know what's going to happen here. Let me see. I think I'll put it on the main screen and hopefully my image will still be on it, so that'll be enough not to get the trademark or copyright. And I did ask Mindark, so we should be okay. Let's hope. Now right there, it's just gonna pause. Like, isn't the music kind of trippy? But isn't these creatures like really wild? Like, look at the graphics back in 2008, right? And I like how they advertise the Mindark logo a lot in these earlier clips. They should really push that Mindark logo more than just the Entropia logo, because the Entropia logo is so common, just an E. The Mindark one at least looks more unique, more distinguished for other players. But anyways, let's continue. Isn't that wild, the size of this creature he's fighting with the sword? Like, look at the grass and stuff. That looks like how my computer used to run the game. Just like a few weeks ago. Now this is kind of cool. Entropia Universe NPC, second entity. Holy. What are those creatures? Has anyone ever fought those before? I don't think I've seen them. Maybe they're in the old version of the game. Yeah, that was the other thing. Mindark used to focus a lot on like the makeup stuff, right? Like, look at all the details you used to be able to do in makeup. I think you still can, but I don't think they still focus on promoting that aspect of the game as much. If I had to guess, I'm pretty sure players like Bonnie, they've done their makeup really nice. But it's probably one of those higher end things where you have to be really good at the game before you really start getting into high end makeup. Yeah, this is one part they talk about later on the DVD, where they were like, hey, in the beginning, Entropia really was like a nightclub game, where you're supposed to go and meet other players, hang out with them, and dance with them and stuff. I don't know why that portion of the game sort of dropped out. I know when I started getting into MMOs, that's really what the big feature was, like just hanging out with other players, right? I don't know why we started separating and all of a sudden just getting into mining only, or hunting, or whatever the big gambling activity was. Usually what this game was supposed to be was everyone hangs out, parties and nightclubs, and when the party dies down, everyone goes hunts and mines when they get bored, and then they come back and talk about it while they're all dancing and partying in the nightclubs again. So I kind of wish that that was more of an element to the game again. Who knows? Maybe we'll see a rebound for that eventually. Like I noticed even Second Life, they do dances and stuff, right? And now it's not just only the girls that get bikinis. The guys can dance in their mankinis too. So that wasn't too long, eh? That was just the first of the DVD content. So that was EU trailer number 2. Yeah, that's funny because it calls it EU trailer 2. So I wonder what EU trailer 1 was. We don't have EU trailer 1 on this. So someone showed me that there was like another disc that's older than this one. So maybe that's what the original disc had on it. It probably had EU trailer 1. So this is a maybe less common one, disc 2, and it has EU trailer 2. Anyways, let's get on to the next Mindark thing. Alright, so here's another video, and what does it say? This one's 2 minutes long also, so not a very long one. Let's check it out, see what it's like. And this one's actually a 2-parter, so we'll see what the second part's like after.
Develops and maintains the virtual universe Entropia universe. It's the first virtual universe with a real cash economy.
So this guy's name is Marco something, and he's the Chief Information Officer or CEO or IO of Mindark. So I'm pretty sure this guy isn't still with the company, but maybe he is. If anyone wants to correct me about that in the chat, they can let me know.
Meaning that you can exchange real-life currency into virtual currency and back into real currency.
I like the office too. It's got that moving avatar image on the wall. It must have been a real wild thing to like work in Sweden in this office. It's dealing with like a virtual universe game back in 2008.
Again, the normal way when you entertain yourself in front of the computer, for instance playing a computer game, means that you're essentially wasting time. In Entropia Universe, you can have the same or better entertainment values, but at the same time you can capitalize on the time spent within the virtual universe, as everything you do has a real value attached to it. It's a service that is free of charge.
Now that's something that they mentioned in this video that Neverdie tries to emphasize in some of his latest work that I watched recently, like actually just today. And that was like the hook that was supposed to push Entropia was, why would you play a game where you don't progress anything in real life? But if you play in Entropia, you're playing the same type of video game content that you would in other games, except your real life is tied to it and progressing because you're earning real money and meeting real people and all this other real stuff that Entropia offers. So I was like, that was kind of a neat hook that they used to try to push at the beginning in Mindark, which maybe they don't push it as enough as they should, because that's a pretty good hook. Anyways, let's get on with the video. And they advertise that it's free, and the main reason they keep emphasizing free is this is back when, like, I think what it was, World of Warcraft and other MMOs at the time had started implementing monthly fees. So they're like, hey, look at our game, it's no fees. It was like one of the first free-to-play games where there were so many ways that the game could make money off you in the game that they're willing to give you the whole game for free. And you notice a lot of games are like that these days. But back in 2008, Mindark was one of the first ones to do it. Well, probably not the first ones, but in that actual category of very close to first.
You have no subscription fees associated, and you can partake for as long as you take, as long as you have an account. You download the software free of charge from our website. Once you have engaged in this system, you can transfer money in and out of Entropia Universe, which is a unique approach. The vision of Entropia Universe was to supply a single persistent online world where people all around the globe could meet, make business and communicate. Today we have 450,000 registered accounts, and the Entropia turnover for 2005 was $165 million US.
Yeah, it's interesting how in order to sell the game to investors, they always came over with some sort of turnover rate of like how much items are selling back and forth to other players, which I found kind of funny because sometimes people could just sell items back and forth to each other in private trades with like no actual fees involved. So to count that as towards the total amount, or maybe they're counting just the stuff that was sold on auction, so then that would actually include fees. So then you could actually say, hey, that's a verified sale because they actually had to pay fees. So I don't know where they're getting that big money figure that they're proposing to investors, but I like it. Either way, wherever they get it, it's a neat way to hook investors, right? They're like, check out our universe. There's actually people in an economy and it's working. And that's the one thing I noticed about Entropia early on, like even in these videos, they were talking about how trying to make Entropia the basic, the universal income idea that we hear about on the news a lot lately. They're like, hey, we got to figure out some way where the whole world can have jobs, basically by like, we're going to have to invent jobs, right? Because we're going to give them universal income checks and everyone's going to have to find something to do. So that's like, they're like, holy fuck, if we pay everyone just to like stay home or whatever on this universal income, we got to come up with some sort of weird jobs that everyone could do from home. So it's weird how even back in like 2008, MindArc and this whole idea behind Entropia was to give that opportunity for people to build an online universe where somehow we could create an economy good enough to make a job for someone. So that's what they keep pushing in this. They're like, oh, we can make jobs, we can make jobs. So I was thinking that's kind of neat. Like even Never Die's been trying to push that with his latest stuff. So I don't actually hate that. I was like, I like that part of Entropia. I wish that they succeeded and made a job that people could do better than sweating or better than the AI mission. I think the AI mission was the apex of Never Die's job system. So it was kind of like horrible that it failed. Like I was really hoping it would have been great success and then his job plan would have been like, it would have actually come to fruition. But I think that's what Entropia's main hurdle going forward is they really need to find a way to get this job thing going. No, that's the latest thing with like Next Island, how they're doing the job system where people can like do stuff to win that armor and they have like gave people jobs. Like, oh, you can stream for this amount of time. It's basically like hiring advertising. But anyways, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Entropia is getting closer and closer to that end goal game that they've been pushing even since this video in 2008 to try to get all the players in Entropia a job if they want it. So yeah, that's pretty wild. So let's watch more of it.
When you join Entropia Universe, you take the role as a colonist on the first inhabitable planet mankind has ever found suitable for colonization. Once there, you take an active role in creating and forming this future society and be part of Calypso's history. Calypso is the name of this planet.
Yeah, so we got to watch a little bit more of the history of Entropia. No, I love these ancient Entropia videos. I can't believe I have an archive on my hands now of videos that you could find on YouTube if you're good at searching, but I admit some of them are pretty hard to find. Other people might be like, oh, I found them no problem, but no, I actually had problems finding them. Alright, so let's get to part 2 of the one we just watched. I think we get to more CEOs, and one of these CEOs actually moved on to be the owner of Next Island. Or no, I don't think he is, but anyways, people could correct me wrong if they know where he's from. Well, let's watch out the next clip. Alright, so the next one's MindArc Part 2. MindArc Part 2. Here we go.
MindArc develop and manage Entropia Universe. Entropia Universe is an online universe based on a real cash economy.
Alright, so this is David Simmons. I'm pretty sure he's one of the people that split off and bought his own planet, or I could be wrong about that. If anyone wants to correct me, that'd be great.
Once you've decided you want to be a participant in our Entropia universe, you can go to our website and download the free software. Once you've done that, you can then create an avatar, which is a character you can make yourself with many different variations. You can, if you like, make the character as a mirror image of yourself, so that when you meet your friends, they'll be able to recognize you. You can then...
Isn't it funny how back in the days when the graphics were like really rudimentary, we're already like, oh, it's so realistic, you'll be able to recognize yourself easily. It's like, whatever. But maybe. Back in those days, we actually considered that top of the line.
and decide on which course of action you want to do. Whether you want to be a miner, a hunter, a property owner, or just basically...
Yeah, see that? One of the options that he listed, let's jump back just for a second. He's like, do you want to be a miner, a hunter, or a property owner? Being the property owners was like one of the big things in the beginning of Entropia. So it really kind of makes me sad. I was thinking the same thing in Entropia that they should use to solve the problem. Is the same problem solved that we should actually use in real life? Isn't it weird how like the same problem could be solved in both situations, in Entropia and real life? And it's the housing issue, right? Alright, so let's let it play just for a second. We'll get back to that.
basically come in and chat with friends. It's completely up to you.
See, he's like hinting at the idea that you don't have to hunt, you don't have to mine, you can also just hang out with your friends. He's like, it's completely up to you. But for some reason in Entropia, I don't know what's with our community. I shouldn't say it's just our community. There's probably lots of people hanging out, and I'm having the one having issues finding the dances and parties and all the social stuff. But yeah, that's what I kind of wish, is like the majority of the Entropia stuff was social stuff, and that people just kind of went hunted and mined when they got bored and they were alone, right? When they couldn't find any of their friends online, so then that's what they went and did. I shouldn't say, but like back in the old Cybertown days, one of the reasons people went off and showed off their apartments was so they could like meet chicks and go make out, right? So I don't know why Entropia took out the make-out dances out of Entropia. I'm pretty sure they used to have them, but for some reason because they removed it because kids could play the game. But it makes sense now that only 18 years or older are allowed to play Entropia. They really could put the little sex dance moves back in the game, so showing off your apartments and having a really cool bed would actually be like part of the game that people would enjoy again, right? I know as cheesy as it sounds, but like really we're in some cases lockdowns for almost 2 years, right? So who knows what could become popular again. Who knows, if we're under lockdowns for 10 years, like these virtual makeout sessions in apartments will be like the height of our social existence. Sorry, I should make fun of it, but yeah, that's weird. Anyways, yeah, what I was thinking too, like right now, there's the homeless crisis in California, and people are trying to solve it. They're like, how the fuck are we going to solve the homeless crisis? Well, the same problem for that could probably solve some of the Entropia shit, is the government of both, like Mindark and like the whatever country we're in, like say for Canada, Justin Trudeau. So in Mindark, if they wanted to fix their housing situation, what they could do is be like, hey, every player that joins, Entropia Universe, gets to pick a planet at the beginning, right? So you get to pick if you want to join Rocktropia, Calypso, Arcadia, and whatnot. So once you've collected that somewhat home base where your established like birth certificate is, when the month or year end gifts come out, like Christmas or New Year's or Halloween, you get special gifts depending where you're born. So if you're born on certain planets, you might get better gifts, or if you own real estate on different planets, you get better gifts. So it's like, holy shit, like say if you own a shop on Rocktropia, you used to get really good gifts. Or if you own a shop on Calypso, you get an extra good gift. So that was one of the kickers of owning a planet or owning a shop on one of these other planets, was getting that cool gift at Christmas. So most people be like, oh, there's no way I'm going to buy a shop just so that I can get a cool gift on, like, say, Christmas time, where the gift's only going to be worth like 100 ped at best. But then there's the thing too, like, to solve this problem that MindArc has with trying to hook players. Like, you know how when you get people into Entropia, right now when you, like, refer your friends or something, they usually start playing the game. They'll start hunting, mining, crafting, whatever it is, have a couple good runs, but as soon as they hit that one bad run, they get on a real negative rant about the game, and they'll just quit. Because they're like, oh dear God, like, there's more bad runs coming, I want nothing to do with this game. There's no real hook that got them to stay. But I was thinking what should be the hook to keep them to stay is that they're just logging into Entropia to hang out with other friends, to see their apartments, to go find whatever virtual girlfriends they've met because they're stuck in lockdowns and they can't actually meet real girlfriends anymore. So they'll go over to their virtual girlfriend's house and, like, make out in the bed if they added this dance back. But anyways, so yeah, that's what I was thinking, that what MindArc should do is have real small, like, I'm talking like Hong Kong, like, smallest ever apartment size apartments. So it's like real tiny. And then have each one of these tiny apartments available to every player as a registered colonist. So say you're a registered colonist of Arcadia, you get to have one apartment in the Arcadia planet that's in, like, the government housing district. So this is where you would separate private real estate from a government real estate. So this is both a problem for California that they could use and MindArc. So what MindArc could propose is say, hey, we can't give each player an apartment because if we do, there's no incentive for them to go into the private market and buy an apartment that's bigger and better. But what you would do is when you give people like the colonist of Entropia a free apartment, like the ones they keep showing off as like one of the main hooks to try to get people to play the game, is when you give them this apartment, give them one that's really small so that they only have, like, say, let's try 20 items. So you can only place 20 items in your apartment. So it's like barely enough to spawn a shopkeeper, barely enough to put a bed, like maybe just one bed or something. So then what players realize is they're like, hey man, like, I'm gonna play this game to try to impress my virtual girlfriends in, like, this universe or whatever. What I should do is try to soup up my place to try to make it pimped out, right? You know, you pimp out your place to impress women or whatever. So yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, players would play the game now because they want to socialize, and they could actually invite women over to their bed right away, but they'd have to try to save up enough money to buy a bed. So they'd be like, oh shit, now I've got an apartment, I should really get a bed. So now they would go to a sweat circle and they would be incentivized to try to get enough sweat to buy a bed. And then the crafters would be like, yes, there's a whole supply of players coming in trying to buy different beds to, like, show off. And then the bed might not be enough. They might be like, oh, the girl I like in the game really likes, like, adventure, like sci-fi dragon stuff. So maybe I should buy a dragon painting from the mall, hang it up in my apartment to try to impress her with that, right? See, that's where we don't realize is that when we're missing this giant feature of apartments in the game, like Entropia was trying to hook people with at the beginning, was that was one of the features. You would soup up an apartment to try to soup up or impress people. So you'd invite other players. You'd be like, you go to a sweat circle, like, hey guys, or you go, hey ladies, shouldn't say guys, hey ladies, who wants to come over and check out my chick magnet apartment, right? And all the ladies would be like, oh, your apartment's souped up. Let's go see how much sweat you have, right? No, anyways, yeah, so you go to the bed and check out the bed. And yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, the same thing with real life. People say that the government shouldn't build, like, a giant apartment complex. Like, I'm talking like a 200, maybe 150-story apartment building. It's just government apartments, and they're just like Hong Kong size. You get one tiny room for a bedroom, living room, dining room. It's like a hybrid studio apartment. One tiny bathroom, and then your whole building has like a shared laundry room or whatever. or maybe a certain amount of floors have a shared laundry room. So anyways, yeah, like, and then people will be like, oh, it's government housing, it would all go to hell. But what I would say is you can transfer your units. And I would do the same thing with California that you could do in Entropia. Say you played the Entropia universe for a while and they gave you an apartment building, and you'd be like, shit, man, I don't like having an apartment on, say, Arcadia. I don't like Arcadia anymore. I don't like the gifts I'm getting on Arcadia for Christmas. You could request a transfer, and then they would transfer your apartment to like another unit, and you could like have a choice. You'd be like, oh, these units are available on, say, Next Island. Do you want to pick between one of those? And then what Mindark would have to do is keep charge of the register, make sure that they keep people's records, and make sure that they can keep the flow of people requesting new units and wanting to get rid of new units. They could probably set up some sort of auction system where people could trade units with each other. So you'd be like, oh, I don't like living on Arcadia anymore. You could put it up on auction and try to switch it for one that's on like Rocktropia or something. But anyways, or you could even do it like different locations. So maybe there's a building complex on one side of Calypso and people want it on the other side. But anyway, same thing with California. You could build enough giant government complex units where people would be like, oh shit, like tons of people are living in California. I want an apartment complex somewhere else. You could request to be moved to a different unit. You could pick a place in a different city, say if you got a job in another city. So yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like the government really needs to provide one unit for each person that pays taxes in like Canada or the US. And it's a real tiny unit. And the theory that it's just going to kill the real estate market, I don't think would happen, because most people would always want to upgrade, right? They'd be like, oh, I could keep my government unit, which you get no matter what. And then that's the other thing. People said, well, what happens if you upgrade? Why would you want the other smaller apartment? I was like, well, don't people usually keep vacation resorts? Like, if you get to a certain level of success in life, you'll have like a house, and then you'll have like a cottage somewhere. You have like a house, or you have a trailer park somewhere. So this would be like the government would do. You'd have like people that own normal houses and normal apartments, and their government unit would just be like their vacation spot, or they could just use it for storage. Yeah, that's what a lot of people would do. Like say if you had a government unit like that, you could have it in Florida. So if you ever wanted a vacation stay in Florida, you could go stay at your government unit. So some people would say, oh, that would kill like the free market or whatever. But people would always want to upgrade, right? There's going to be rich people who would be like, holy fuck, this one room apartment in Florida just isn't enough for me. I want to rent a hotel that has like fucking 10 rooms in it and throw a huge party. So there's always going to be people that want to upgrade. But I'm just thinking what we really need to do, sort of what Mindark could do and the government in general, is just up the fucking minimum standard for what the minimum housing is. So as I know people try to talk about the minimum income and all that, the minimum income, sure, it sounds neat on paper, but really a minimum housing thing, that would really help stabilize the market too. Because that would only available to people that actually are residents of that country. So you couldn't have like people from other countries just flooding in, taking up all these cheap houses, because these cheap ones would only be available to people that are actual residents. So if those people from other countries wanted to come and buy up and flood the market, they would only be doing it on the other upgraded ones. They would never crush the low-income housing people out of the market. So it would kind of protect them, sort of offer like a safety net. I know some people think safety nets suck, but I don't know. I think that'd be a pretty good one for both Entropia and California, or whatever other countries want to try it. I know California isn't a country, but... Alright, so let's continue with the video, but that's what I was thinking. If Mindark really wants to like get back to basics, that's what I realized watching this video, is they really need to get back to the basics with giving everyone a unit. That's actually Entropia, the game that I played before it, Cybertown, the one where you can make out in your apartments. That's their kicker. Everyone got their own free apartment, but you could buy bigger apartments. So people would buy bigger ones and upgrade, but everyone had a basic apartment. And it barely had any room. So that's why people always wanted to upgrade it. It's kind of like the drug that you could offer, like Miss Pudding likes to talk about. The drugs. No, but that's the drug that gets everyone hooked, right? It's like, oh, I have the small apartment. I can only fit one more item of furniture and I bought 3 items. I'll just get a bigger apartment, right? So yeah, and then people could always keep that cheap apartment that could only fit 20 items, but they could upgrade to a bigger one. All right, so let's watch the rest of this trailer. I know we're going to talk more about apartments than the trailer actually is.
It's completely up to you.
Like, look how sick those dances are. I wish we had dances like that. No, that's what I was going to say. Like, can you imagine, though, in California, if that implemented where everyone actually had their own basic apartment? They could go to that homeless tent district and be like, hey, everyone, you can just go home now. And everyone would be like, oh, I can't afford a home in California. I'd be like, sorry, there's a government one. You can just apply for it. If you want to live in California, if you want to live in Florida, if you want to live in Alaska. And that would be the weird thing. If you got a government housing one in Alaska, they pay good money just to live in Alaska. So I think that'll be the future. They'll build government housing in really remote locations where they need lots of people. So that actually might be the future. So let's watch more.
Entropia Universe is built around the virtual currency called Project Entropia Dollar. It has a fixed...
See, he even said it like that. He didn't say PED, right? He's like, oh, Project Entropia Dollar. So already someone at MindArc must have realized, they're like, holy fuck, this acronym we picked for their currency, maybe we should work on a new one. How many years later? 12? They're still working on it.
exchange rate to the US dollar, meaning that $1 equals 10 PEDs.
Oh, here, this is the ATM part. Watch this.
These PEDs can be used within the virtual universe, but it can also be exchanged back into real world currency. And this is done easily with an ATM machine.
See, at this point he's like, you can just do this easy from an ATM machine, withdraw your Project Entropia dollars. Now I heard that that was a feature added in the original Entropia game, but I'd never actually seen it advertised in a commercial before. Well, look at the slushie price. God, I love slushies. So at least when I go to Sweden, I'll be able to identify slushies. They still call them close to the same thing. Slush ice. And I can use U-tag to buy them. Alright, let's go this.
An ATM card you can use at any ATM machine around the world.
Yeah, he sees like ATM machines around the world. You'll be able to withdraw your Project Entropia dollars. Isn't that wild? Now, what some people might be thinking too is the government in California and in MindArc in general, they can't afford to give everyone just an apartment. The thing people might not realize, the government, they waste shitloads of money, right? They're building fucking aircraft carriers, for God's sakes. Like, not only can they build these apartments, they'd have like billions left over, trillions left over. So yeah, they could easily afford it. And MindArc, like if you think MindArc, the server space, if they make these apartments small enough and space them out, so make like a waiting list to get apartments in really good areas and have like easier areas that are empty of people, have it like really easy to get apartments there for beginner players. So anyways, yeah, I'm pretty sure they could afford it too, or just make the units really small. So like, I don't know, like they could design some sort of apartment that's like way smaller than any other one in Entropia before, but make it free so each player gets one, and they could always transfer it from planet to planet. So like, oh, I'm sick of the Calypso gifts, I want to transfer, and maybe make a rule where you can only transfer apartments, say once every 6 months or something, and then have a feature where you can pay extra. So like, oh, if you want to pay an extra fee, you can transfer your apartment every month instead of every 6 months. So that's where MindArc can monetize it and have like this free apartment, but still have ways to monetize it. So yeah, that's just an idea too. Not that I should give MindArc any more monetizing ideas. I'm sure they got that part down. Yeah, shit, even the government could do that. They'd be like, yeah, if you transfer your apartment too many times, like you have to pay an extra fee to do it. So if you're like always hopping from like California to Florida say you moved your apartment to like Arizona and you're like always moving back and forth, they'd be like, all right, you can only move it like 2 times a month or 2 times a year free, but if you pay like an extra 200, then you can move it every month or something. So that'd be pretty sweet. So that's what I was thinking too. People always say people have no incentive to succeed if you gave them a free apartment, but then they'd always have that incentive to move fee, right? So they'd be like, oh shit, I should really get a new job so I can afford to move my apartment more often. Maybe I'll want to move it to Hawaii sometime. That'd be sweet, right? And I think that's the main problem with this idea, is the government can't really do these community housing things because some places would highly object to it, right? They'd be like, holy fuck, if anyone could move to Hawaii, what would stop like fucking like 100 million people from just applying to move their unit there? So that's what I was thinking. Some places really would have like a really long waiting list in both Earth and Entropia universe if they did the free apartment thing. And then there's the thing too, where you can monetize it, where you can pay extra to move your units faster, bump yourself up in the waiting line. Alright, so that was the end of that trailer. Can you imagine that? An ATM machine? Dear God. And they were pushing the idea of units. And I think they pushed the idea of jobs. Alright, so let's go on to the next video. Whew, I can't believe we watched 3 of the 5 videos already. The next one is the one that's really, I don't know, what should we do? Never Die or New Oxford? New Oxford is the one we are at right now, the mall. So let's save it for last, and let's go to Never Die's video next. Yeah, I hope Never Die is doing alright. I worry about the guy. I noticed a lot of people are on his YouTube channel asking why Rocktropia is so abandoned. I really hope he's like just working on a huge plan for like a giant return. That'd be sweet. Can you imagine that's what he's doing right now?
Down here at CES 2008.
See, I think Never Die, he's one of those guys that, similar to myself at one point in my life, is I always had a lot of wild ideas and I was willing to try to pursue them with all my effort. So that's what I was thinking, as much as like we hate on Never Die, he's well, the only person really that's willing to take the risks and come up with the wild ideas to begin with. And one of his biggest wild ideas was to try to hook Entropia to cryptocurrencies, stuff like Ethereum and stuff, with his Never Die wallet, which if I was on Rocktropia I would show you. I think I have one still in storage. It's an item that links it to cryptocurrency. But apparently all that stuff broke in the game because Never Die's wallet system was not accepted. So the players didn't want to link it. And the players were right to be skeptical of cryptocurrency, but the one problem is Never Die was also right. His visionary plan of linking it to cryptocurrency probably would have made us all rich, because Ethereum went way up in money. So if we all had tied some of our Project Entropia dollars to Ethereum back when Never Die was suggesting to do it, we'd all be rich right now. Which kind of sucks, but hey, oh well. Like, he tried, he was our president, and it was a wild idea, and I was against it too. So I don't blame anyone else who was against it, but sometimes you really got to trust in your president, right? As fucked up as that sounds these days, no one wants to trust the president at all. Even like when it comes to countries or in Entropia. I know it's hard to trust a president, but let's watch what some of his ideas were back in 2008, and let's see how they've compared to where he's still working today.
Gaming is always one of my favorites, and when we have avatars like these sitting around, how can you pass up a chance? We have Never Die here, who has made $1 million in Space Pirates. Is it more? Am I
well,
misinformed?
actually, I made $1 million by buying a asteroid.
So if anyone's wondering why he's bragging about winning $1 million, this is back in 2008, where if you had $1 million, you could buy like 10 houses. So yeah, like $1 million was a lot of money back then. But obviously today, with today's rapid inflation, like in Toronto, the average like small shack costs $1 million now. So really, if you won $1 million today, you'd be like, ooh, whoop-de-doo. But back then, that was a lot of money. So let's continue.
And opening a nightclub. So now gamers, after they've been working hard, playing games all day long and hunting and mining, they come and they just kick back, listen to great music, and then hunt and mine some more.
See, that was one of the main hooks with Entropia right off the bat, was not only were you supposed to hang out in your apartments and stuff, but you were supposed to be able to hang out in nightclubs where they were playing live music and stuff. I was like, holy shit, man, I wish Entropia had that these days. I think the problem with that was, I have partied with nightclubs and live music in Entropia, but it's usually only for like New Year's or something, right? Where there's like a big party going on that a lot of people hear about and everyone goes to it. But other than that, I haven't really seen too much. So it's like, it's kind of a shame that this idea of like nightclubs and apartments and this whole social life thing, that was supposed to be the real meat of Entropia. And going off and hunting and mining, that was just supposed to be the side activity that you did when you were bored and you had nothing else to do, or your friends weren't online to dance with or whatever, right? So that's where I think Mindark and Entropia kind of got off the rails, is stuff we see right in this promotional video. Let's watch more. This one's only 6 minutes, but it covers some good stuff.
Kill monsters in the asteroid.
A nightclub.
A night.
Now, do you have DJs in your nightclub?
Yes, we got DJs from all over the world. We have parties. We actually are doing the massive multiplayer online World Championships here in Vegas on Thursday with a $25,000 prize, which is the richest ever purse for an online multiplayer game.
Yeah, and shout out to the hot babes that he has working with him. Dear God, I wish I was at that booth, right? I'd be like, man, get a picture with Never Die and his hot babes. No, anyways, yeah, what he's talking about is something that I've mentioned in my Entropia streams before, is what conventions used to do in the other game I played, not Entropia, but Cybertown, the one that was just like Entropia before it. They would take a popular convention, say like a Star Trek convention or something, and they would link it to the virtual universe. So they'd be like, oh, say someone has like an autoimmune disease and they can't go to the Star Trek convention, they start getting depressed. They're like, oh, don't get depressed. You can just log onto your computer, and the guest from the convention is going to take a half hour out of his day to be at the convention, but also log into the virtual room, so that anyone who couldn't make it there in person could log in VR, or like say the Entropia universe or whatever environment you've created electronically, and all of a sudden the celebrities there, they have a little star above them that shows that they're a legitimate celebrity, and all of a sudden they have a lineup of fans. So all the fans that have like some sort of horrible disease or some reason they couldn't go to the convention, maybe they live on the other side of the planet and the only way they could go was virtually, so they'd be buying a ticket, they would get them a spot in line so that they would actually be able to meet and talk to the celebrity in the virtual universe. So that's what Never Die is getting at in this video, is he had linked Entropia to other conventions in the past, back in like, I guess 2008 or whenever this was, probably even before 2008. So that's what I was thinking, like if we really wanted to explode the popularity of Entropia, that's really what you need to do. You have to link it to real life conventions. So if someone's like, oh shit, now I can't go to a real convention because there's like a pandemic or something. Now I can just go virtually, buy a ticket, still meet the same celebrity. Who knows, like maybe you could even buy autographs, I don't know. But yeah, but that's like a whole big potential that they're even talking about back in here in 2008. And they didn't even have the pandemic then, but they were already trying to do virtual conventions. And that was the key. If you linked it to a real convention, it made it seem even more real in Entropia. So yeah, I wish they would start doing more of that. Hopefully we can see that somehow. Like, I don't know what conventions you want to do these days. If anyone from Entropia is into conventions, I would think something video game related, right? Like have a video game convention in Entropia. That'd be pretty cool. Oh yeah, and he talks about music. The whole idea of getting live DJs. So if you couldn't go to a real concert, you could go to a virtual one. I don't know if he could pull it off. It'd be like if, who would be a popular, if The Weeknd all of a sudden said, hey, does anyone want to come to my virtual concert? It's going to be held in a universe called Entropia, and you can come there with your avatar that you can design to look just like you. You know how many Weeknd fans would come into Entropia just for his concert? And then be like, oh shit, maybe I should keep my avatar in case any other concerts come up. Just an idea, right? But That's really the future that Entropia should be going for. I don't know, they kind of pushed in other directions, but that whole concert and convention idea, live music, I think that's a really good one. I know they failed quite a bit on it, but hey, maybe there's still a way to make it succeed. Really, all you need is a hook. If there's like The Weeknd or Justin Bieber or someone big that you could get to love the video game and play. Like Lemmy, when used to play with Never Die quite a bit. I've seen footage of them working on Entropia stuff together before, so yeah, hopefully like some other big music celebrities will tie into Entropia, and that'd be a huge hook. Hopefully we can get more hooks like that.
Now, your nickname is Never Die, or your online game name is Never Die. Where did that come from? You just never die, or?
Well, that's it. I never die. You know, that's the greatest aspiration of a gamer, is to stay alive.
You know what's the weird thing about this? Isn't he talking about the origin of his name Never Die? I could have swore it had something to do with one of his friends that died, so he got upset and made his name Never Die. But I don't know, maybe that was just the lore, because now we're hearing an interview where he said it's just something else. So I don't know if anyone's heard the origin of the name Never Die and they want to explain it to me, or if John Jacobs wants to put it in the chat too, that'd be great. I don't know if he's watching it. I'm pretty sure in the video he says he's very solitary, so maybe he's not really into social media too much. I noticed on his accounts he's been away from it for quite a while. I think he had some tragedies in real life that he's going through, so I can definitely relate to that. Had some family members died this past year as well. No one that, well, I shouldn't say that close, but yeah, it's pretty brutal.
So I figured that I had to set my sights really high, and you know, like a lot of kids, as they start playing, they hit the mythology is that he never dies, and of course I'm not gonna say anything else, right?
Now, can you give me a little bit of a rundown about Space Pirates? It's a virtual world where you trade real life money.
Okay. Entropia Universe is the best virtual world gaming platform. This is a virtual world that you create your avatar, but you can do all the fun stuff that you like to do as a gamer. Space Pirates is a new era in Entropia Universe where they're expanding from the planet into space. And
you know, I was thinking like one of the hooks that they're trying to promote here is space, right? They're like pirate space, pirate space. You know, I was thinking like one of the hooks that they should do with the apartments is do a goal like Cybertown used to do, and actually Clone Evolution. That's the weird thing. Right now people have been asking me, why am I doing Clone Evolution streams every day, but I don't do Entropia ones every day anymore? You know what it was? The final straw that decided it? Like, I like both communities pretty equally, but it's the way the game's designed. What is it, Clone Evolution? If I log in every day consecutively, they give me a bonus. But in Entropia, if you don't log in every day consecutively, there's no bonus attached to it, right? So that's why. That's actually the reason why I play Clone Evolution more than Entropia now. It's because I didn't have enough time to play both, and I decide which was more of a priority. And I picked Clone Evolution because it has that daily login goal. So if I log in and play daily, it's going to give me a boost, and Entropia doesn't. So that's what I was thinking, if Entropia was smart, because they could give away these free apartments, if you logged in and say did something in your apartment, like say log in, watch the Entropia video on your home apartment's like TV console that maybe they could put in each apartment for each Calypso resident. If you log in, watch it, maybe they could add a clip that has an ad, which that ad would then add a little bit of revenue to their account, and then that extra money that they get in their account for watching the ad accumulates each day, and they get a little special bonus if they watch every day consecutively. So that's where I was thinking maybe that's where they could hook everyone in, even in real life. Every condo or apartment that the government's giving in California or whatever state is going to be loaded with these free apartments is have like an ad machine in each unit. It's like a TV that tracks how many ads you're watching. So if you're actually watching lots of ads, it helps you get more revenue for your unit. That'd be pretty fucked. Daily login bonuses and all that, but you could do it in both real life and Entropia. So you wouldn't have to use just space as like a hook to get in. You could do it as some sort of hook in your apartment. have some way that if you log in your apartment every day, you're going to make some sort of revenue. What was it, the game that I played before Entropia, Cybertown? The hook they did, every day you logged in, they gave you a tiny little bit of extra money to spend on the auction. But Entropia can't give you money to play on the auction, so they'd have to find a different hook. But whatever it is, they give you a little bit of it each day. Maybe what they could do is have like a special items list of furniture for Entropia, like a certain category of like 50 different beds. And every day you log in, you get one bed token. And if you save up like say 10,000 bed tokens, then you can pick a special bed to unlock in your apartment. But if you log in each day, it doubles the amount of bed tokens you get. So if you're like, holy shit, I logged in like 30 days in a row, all of a sudden you'd like start getting a lot of bed tokens. So that's just an idea to get players hooked. If MindArk's ever watching these videos, or if people want to promote stuff to MindArk and ideas they should try, those daily login bonuses, if they could tie that somehow to the real estate they give you, fuck, even watching some sort of ad terminal, that'd be amazing. Because I noticed what happened with Entropia. I don't know if anyone else noticed. Entropia Partners, which I have links to below, they found ways to get ads, link it to Entropia, and pay Project Entropia dollars. So it's already been established. It's already linked to Entropia officially. They would just have to find some way to actually have the link terminals in the game. So I don't know if any of the ad providers would actually legitimately allow that, or they would count watching the ads if it was actually just watched in the game. But anyways, that would be wild either way. Get some sort of way that players get money automatically each day for logging in and watching ads. I know some people will be like, oh, I don't want to watch ads. Well, fuck, then just deposit, right? We're talking about people that are actual POV-ass and need free ways to keep their accounts going. Because let's be real, right? Like most people go through phases in life where they have money and they don't. So yeah, the phases where you got money, that's great, but there's a lot of people stuck in the phase where you don't. We just have to accept that. And even these people that don't have money, if they watch shitloads of ads, that's still bringing in money into the game. People are like, oh, these freeloaders, they don't provide anything to the game. Well, if they're watching ads and it's bringing money into the game, fuck man, that's better than no one doing it, right? So anyways, that's what I figure. It's better to be getting a whole army of people working on collecting pennies than have no one at all, right?
With that expansion is going to be space pirates and $5 million worth of treasure, okay? Now, this is very exciting. This is the biggest ever event in online gaming and in virtual reality. A lot of people have made tens of thousands.
Yeah, Never Die's so charismatic too. I'm like hooked on his every word. You can see even these babes that probably don't play Entropia at all, they're like still pretty convinced about what he's talking about, right?
Hundreds of thousands of dollars in the last 5 years, like me, inside Entropia, just on the planet, finding all the cool, rare items. And now, because more and more people are joining, everybody's saying, but we want a chance for the, you know, so with space, all this incredible new technology is going to be available.
See, that was the thing that he mentions here. The Uber players, they all have a chance. But what he's saying is the new players that don't really have a lot of money, when they log into the game, they still want a chance too. They don't want to be left out and feel excluded from having a chance of hitting the big Hall of Fames. So Never Die's solution was space. That you could log in, become a pirate, and shoot someone down and still have the same opportunity of robbing someone for like $1 million or $1 as anyone else would who becomes a pirate. So that's the one weird thing I noticed about Entropia is they can't make the game balanced for people versus the game. But if they make people versus people, that's when they can really make it balanced. And he kind of talks about it here in 2008.
Priceless pirate ships, and it's a very exciting time.
It does sound like a very exciting time. Now, this is all online, and this is all on my computer.
Absolutely.
So, one of the things about gaming these days, especially with PC gaming, is that a lot of games, the system...
Isn't it funny that Entropia was so new in 2008? They're like, it's online? It's on your computer? It's like, back in my day, we used to buy drugs from gangs. Now we could just get it from the government.
requirements seem to be a little high for the average gamer. Now, where does Entropia and Space Pirate stand on that?
Well, Entropia, you know, is pretty mid-level, except they just licensed the CryEngine 2, which just won the award for the best graphics engine.
Does anyone catch what they were just talking about there? They said that before, the Entropia could run on like a medium-end computer. It wasn't that bad. But now they're bragging that they just licensed the new engine, and when they do that, it's going to be really high-end. But isn't that funny that back in, like, I don't know what year this would have been, around 2008, that's when it was a high-end engine. So we're really overdue for a next upgrade. Can you imagine that's what Never Die's plan is? When he comes back after his big absence from Entropia as our president, he comes back with like the plan for a new engine that can run on cell phones and computers. My mind would be blown if he could pull that off, find some sort of new engine that could run the game, at least like 90% of the game, on both computer and cell phones. So I'd be like, all right, let's try and make the switch. Because I notice when a lot of people talk to me, a lot of people are like, fuck, I'd play Entropia every day if I could just play it on my cell phone. That's the thing, right? Like, so many gamers have switched over to cell phones as their main method of playing. So I don't know, that's one of the things I noticed in this video. We're talking about a new engine back in 2008.
And so, you know, they're ramping it up and really...
That's like 12 years ago, right? Or even more. Is it 13 now?
You know, if you're a gamer, special effects is a big part of the experience. So, you know, really it's on us to keep upgrading our computers. I mean, you know, that's just the way it is. I mean, when you go to the movie...
See, they're saying it's just up to us, the gamers, to keep upgrading our computers to the latest technology. But isn't it up to Mindark now to upgrade to the latest device? To be able to have it play on cell phones? I know that's the direction they were kind of going with Compet, and they wanted everyone to play Compet on cell phones. But no. We don't want to play Compet on cell phones. We want to play Entropia on it. So I don't know if there's some genius that's going to be able to make Entropia playable on a cell phone engine. Is that really possible? I know cell phone games have become so advanced now. Isn't it possible to do it yet? Let's hope.
Movies, you don't want to see a 1950s B movie, you want to see the best special effects, right? And so, you know, that's really what it is. Gamers drive the entire...
Isn't it funny? It's like, you want to see the best special effects, and then they're showing this. It's like, this was the best special effects in 2008. Sorry to laugh and talk, but dear God.
Computer industry, they're the ones that are pushing the limits. I mean, really, if you look around CES, everybody's got games on their monitors to show how good they are.
Well, it's not just games, it's actually also porn.
Oh yeah, of course.
Did they just mention porn? Dear God, it wasn't even me this time.
That's right.
Can't deny that one. Now, with all this money you've made gaming, you definitely haven't waited.
See how her face went to super serious right away? I don't know why she didn't like the porn comment too much. Sorry, I had to go there. Nah, it's probably a really mean thing to say. Sorry if she had a horrible experience in life. I know if I got into porn back in 2008, probably wouldn't be the greatest. At least these days you can do camming by yourself and not have to get involved with horrible, creepy people. Fuck. Can't imagine some of the horror stories. Anyways, let's continue. I swear I had nothing to do with those.
Wasted your time, obviously. So now, what was your first purchase when you became a millionaire?
Well, I just bought a H2 Hummer, and black with chrome, and yeah, I love it. This is the first thing that I bought for myself that really makes me feel like I made it. You know. So
now, as somebody who's just moving into the...
No, the thing I was thinking of, despite being in my mom's basement and almost being 50, the thing that made me feel like I almost made it in life was buying the Klingon Batleth. I've got it now. I haven't opened it yet because my new stand for it hasn't arrived. But when it does, I'll be like, yeah, I made it.
Gaming scene. Do you have any tips and advice for how I can also attain your greatness?
Yes, I do. It's a very simple, there's two secret ingredients, okay? The first one is don't quit.
You know, that is one of the greatest success advices I noticed as well. It's one of the hardest things about doing things in life is just doing it, right? A lot of people just want to quit.
I've watched people quit, and I've watched them lose the opportunity to make their fortune. People that have been positioned, right? People that just stop believing, you know, or, you know, so don't quit. The second thing is belief, okay? Now,
Yeah, belief is one of the most fucked up ones too. You look at almost every religion on the planet and it comes down to like everyone realizing that belief is so much more powerful than we ever realized. It doesn't matter which religion it is, that's what they all have in common. It's pretty funny, right?
you know, people always talk about believing in yourself, and you know, and you're like, oh, how do I believe in myself when I don't have the confidence that I'm capable of things? But here's the key factor with virtual worlds. It's more than just a game now. You have to believe that this is a global marketplace, that you are going to get away with being a space pirate for a living. And you've got to believe it. And the more people that believe this, right, the more real it becomes. So that.
Yeah, I noticed that Ken, when he does his videos in Entropia, that's one of the things he's always about too, right? He's like, just have faith in yourself. He's not one of those players that bitches about losing all the time. He's like, man, I'm going to make money. I believe in it, right? It's good. It's like you got to see more people believing, right? I know it's so easy to believe in failure because, God, it happens a lot, right?
That's it. They're the two ingredients to success: belief and not quitting.
Michelle, I'm handing in my notice. I'm going to be a space pirate. He's just convinced me. By BNet TV. Oh my gosh. Well, it's never die. Thanks so much for joining me. And the avatars. Can't forget the beautiful avatars.
Only in Entropia universe.
Only.
Find avatars like this.
I bet you all these years later, these babes are still babes.
Thanks so much for taking the time to join me. And I'm so excited to get a little bit of a demo and see what's exactly inside your awesome, awesome world, your awesome real world. Nicole Scott for BNet TV down here at CES.
Wow, I love that video. I know that one is, I think, on Never Die's channel, so if anyone wants to jump over to his channel and watch it, give it a like and a sub. He's got a great YouTube channel. I was actually just watching some of his videos today and how he's still talking about creating jobs for everyone. He went to a big convention in Spain. I think that was like 4 or 5 years ago. So that's what he was doing. He was in Spain trying to push the idea that he could create enough jobs to keep an entire world economy going out of Entropia. I was like, can you imagine he succeeded? God, if we only believed. That would have been so sweet. I know, I don't think even if we believed that would have actually worked, but who knows? Maybe if we can start linking it to more apartments or more live bands or more live conventions, especially given the pandemic, right? Like, God, there's more opportunity than ever. I hope Never Die hears that and he's like, yeah, now is the time, right? The epic return of Never Die. He never dies. Let's hope. Anyways, so let's finish up the video with the new Oxford material. I don't know what the new Oxford one is. I've only watched a few seconds. This one is actually available on the YouTube before I played it as well. But I think only a couple or maybe 500 people watched it, something like that. So when you compare to how many Entropians there are, probably not many people have seen this one yet. So let's watch the new Oxford video. And it'll be the last, and we'll finish up with the media. The media is where it really gets wild, because that's pretty much stuff that you can't find on YouTube. I'll finally be creating some original material. So let's continue. And I've got to try to slow down on drinking this mead. Holy fuck, almost finished the whole bottle. Starting to get wrecked here. Yeah, it is the weekend. Alright, so... Oh, did Entropia crash? Looks like Entropia crashed, but that's okay. I don't think I have any porn on my desktop anyways. At least I hope not. If there's any pictures of boobs, I have no idea how they got there. Alright, so anyways, let's go back to the folder of New Oxford. Here it is. I found the New Oxford file, so we'll play it next. Let me turn it down a little. So this was the mall that I was standing in before the game crashed. Remember how I ran up to it? It used to have like a giant like deer shape, but this is in the old engine. So the old engine probably it looked different. There we go. No, sorry, I had to jump back for a sec. See where it says here? You can meet up with art students, established artists, collectors, designers, and others. So this new Oxford video clip, this is where they realized that Entropia had the potential for a business marketing tool. Like, I don't know if anyone's actually taken a business school in real life, but that's one of the things they teach you is networking. So you want to meet other business owners. So say you're a business owner that does plumbing and you want to get your advertisements out. You go to business meetings so that you can meet other people that are into, say, designing business cards. So you're like, oh, I do plumbing, you do business cards. I'll give you free plumbing, you give me free business cards. That's how you start networking and stuff. So that's where Entropia realized that people should be playing Entropia so that they can network with other art students, other artists, other collectors, other designers. Basically, if you're a business person, if you're a student, if you're someone who wants to be successful, you would play Entropia so you can meet other successful people and network with them. So that's one thing that I've always used Entropia for over the years, and I've always met some really cool people. And it's really wild, some of the different stuff they do. So that's why some people, I find it so funny when they're like, oh, I play Entropia and it's so boring. It's like, so boring. Well, try harder to meet new people and find out what they do in real life, right? You'd be surprised how interesting some people's lives really are. And that's the one thing we're so lucky with Entropia. When you play it, it's real life people in it. That's the thing where it's an MMO that makes it so amazing, is you can meet people. People that are students, people that are artists, some are collectors, and designers. So let's see what else they got. Oh yeah, there's that giant deer. So it is the same. So here it says that in Entropia you're supposed to be able to form new friendships, enter contests, start collaborations, buy art, clothes, virtually and delivery on Earth. So that's what I was thinking too, like they even mention it here. As much as you're going to meet people in Entropia and do Entropia stuff, eventually you're going to be like, hey, you design business cards. We should do some deliveries on Earth, or I'll buy your business cards in real life. So that's what they're talking about here. They're like, that's why you should play Entropia. You can meet other people and even get stuff done on Earth. So that's really a possibility in all games. Like you might be able to play like, I don't know, say Minecraft or whatever it is, or no, let's say, what's the one where everyone plays? Fuck, I can't even remember modern games these days. But anyways, play a modern game and all of a sudden you meet all these people. The odds of them wanting to exchange stuff like ideas and information is probably going to be pretty slim because they're too busy playing the game. So yeah, that's why I think Entropia is special, where all of a sudden people are meeting each other and they actually have time because it's an MMO. You got all the time in the world. It says, visit the lecture halls and listen to lectures by professors. I don't know if that was an actual thing, but that's pretty wild. Because I know that's what something I do in real life, is I live close to the most advanced theoretical physics labs in the world. It's called the Stephen Hawking Center. But I don't even actually have to go in the building. They actually stream all their lecture halls so I can just watch them on my computer at home, even though I live just a couple blocks away. But though, that's what I was thinking, like, man, that's what they could do in the future. If people wanted to do online school and do it through Entropia, wouldn't that be wild? I can't believe that's actually in one of their old commercials, even before the idea of a pandemic screwing schools even existed. Or not since the olden days.
Welcome to 21st Century Fine Art. Located in the heart of the city of New Oxford, here on the planet Calypso. I'm Teresa, the gallery director.
Woo, Mindark always has such hot babes.
Let's be serious, I'm just a kid from Whittier, California
Him too. No, I'm just kidding.
who wanted to draw comic books and play Pac-Man in the local bowling alley.
He does have a nice suit.
He completely hangs up on me on the telephone and says, "Kid."
Kika Karate? Wow, that's an interesting name.
I don't care who you are, the show is curated.
One has to.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Entropia has the potential where in the future, say we got a new engine for Entropia, maybe they could do it now, but it'd be kind of skeptical. But in the future, if we got a new engine, they could take artifacts from museums, scan it into the game, and if the game's resolution was high enough, you could go in and look at art galleries. So I think that's where they were kind of going with this, but I think this was back when these graphics were kind of like on par with the best around. Whereas today, I don't think people would go for it because they would need better graphics.
The trophies, because the trophies are so important in life. It's the trophies that motivate us. It's the things that we go after.
And this is another music prize, Music Hit Award. I think 50 Cent and Madonna has won each of those.
So that was the thing, like, one of the things Entropia had was getting art into the game, and you could buy it and put it in your apartments. I think the whole reason this system failed is because not everyone had apartments. So if they actually added like a Mindark system where like, hey, guess what? Now every Calypso or every resident in Entropia gets an apartment, and you get an extra bonus for every day you log in successfully. You could use those bonus tickets to like place bids on auction items for like new art for your apartments. So then they could thrive a business on people creating art because they have all these apartments that they want art to put in to show off to babes, so they can impress babes and have them come over to their apartment to do the dance that they should re-add to Entropia. If it ever used to be. I heard it was, but I never actually tried that.
I'd like to talk to you about how...
Oh, fuck. I was just about to comment that that guy's smoking, and that's pretty cool. Just kidding. No, it was making me Jones to do a vape, and then I hit skip by accident. I don't know if anyone... Yeah, let's watch it from here. I think it's pretty close.
I'd like to talk to you about how one first understands that art is your calling, because that's truly what it is.
You know, that's the thing. If Entropia managed to build this giant empire where people actually had apartments that they cared about stocking and they were willing to log in every day and build up these currencies from watching ad revenues and supporting artists, then there'd be a whole industry where artists could create art to bring to Entropia. So that's where you're starting to look at the future generations, all the different things that we could actually use as the new economies going forward. The stuff that Never Die was trying to accomplish at that big convention in Spain. That's what this is right before our eyes. See, I think where Entropia was a little bit ahead of their time here is these artists were creating all these cool clothes and they're creating all this cool art, but they didn't have the giant thriving population yet. So it's sort of like it was just ahead of its time. And one of the things that prevented it from getting the huge population was just the graphics, right? Like if they upgrade to a new engine, can you imagine? Or even with the current engine, if they just get a giant player base because they get a whole bunch of people hooked to come and watch a weekend concert or something. I don't know. But yeah, can you imagine like all of a sudden people want to go to the next weekend concert in Entropia and they need clothes to wear. So now all of a sudden they're buying clothes from virtual creators in the Entropia universe, creating a giant economy, like the kind of economies that Never Die is trying to create. So really we got so close. Entropia, like Never Die was saying, maybe we just got to not quit. We got to keep believing that Entropia is going to get a hook. Some big celebrity is going to want to play music live venues in Entropia. All these virtual people will sign up to go to the concert. Mindark will give them all a virtual apartment and they'll start buying items to stock it so that they can invite their virtual girlfriends or boyfriends over, or whatever genders. Yeah, there's so much potential. That's why I try not to give up in Entropia. As much as I haven't been playing it in the past week, when I got this information off the DVD, man, it's restored my love in the game. How much potential it really has going forward. How close it got to being the next big thing. And we shouldn't give up, right? Like, I think we really should keep going. I know I'm going to. We'll see if we can get the shopkeeper soon, right?
Hello, I'm Adam Thorpe and I'm a professor at the New Oxford Institute of Fashion and Design here on Calypso.
Within those utilitarian values, we also respect the aesthetic values and try and keep our clothing pleasing.
See this clothing that they're talking about designing? Doesn't this look like the ninja hood that I wear? So maybe it was these guys in the video that designed it. Oh, we got another viewer that joined. Pecky, thanks for joining. Yeah, what is this comment? He says, just Mindark. Just got greedy. Yeah, Mindark has definitely gotten greedy in different situations, but I don't know. Maybe they can find ways to be greedy and make it fun at the same time. There's definitely ways to do it. We can't make... Monetization doesn't really have to ruin everything, as long as there's a decent free version.
To our own eyes, as well as the eyes of other.
You think these guys still play the game since like 2008? I don't know what happened to New Oxford. Did their fashion industry die completely?
People, and hopefully you avatars out there as well.
Ben, we look forward to seeing you here at the Institute of Fashion and Design at New Oxford.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, really, all Mindark has to do to, like, get everyone's attention to be like, holy shit, I should go back and start playing Entropia. Give everyone an apartment and give everyone a really small one. Just like a really small one-room apartment that they can't actually trade to other players, or if they can, but if they can only own one at a time. So if you go to trade your apartment, sure, you can trade it, but you can only trade it for the same size apartment, one of the free ones, and in a different region, or even the same building, just trade it. So that'd be the weird thing, eh? So you could always trade the apartment, but you could never actually lose it. So it'd be like one of those items where you always have to have one. The only thing you could trade it for was another apartment. I think that'd be a way that you could do it. So that way the player would always have it. Yeah, that's a weird thing, right? They'd have to make it like account bound so that you can never lose your apartment, but also have it so you could trade it. Maybe with an auction system, but either way. Right, so that's all the videos. We actually watched all 5. Can't believe it. So I figured I should do that, do a review for each video, because people have already posted each one of these on YouTube. So you can watch the whole things if you look online. Never Die's got his episode on his YouTube channel. Everyone should check that out. Just type in Never Die into YouTube. You should be able to find it. And yeah, these other trailers, they used to be on the Mindark page, but maybe I'll start adding them to mine too. So maybe after this video, I'll put the entire trailers on my channel as like the complete trailer, in case anyone wants a copy to review also. Mindark said I'm allowed to share it, so I think if you copy it from me, you should be able to share it too. As far as I know. You might want to message Mindark. Yeah, it's a weird thing. Everyone's homeless in Entropia and in real life. So it's like this problem that everyone's facing. It's like it could solve it in both worlds at the same time. Maybe that's what I need to do. I need to run for president of the real world and the Entropia universe. No, I'll leave the Entropia universe to Mindark, and maybe I'll run for president of Canada one day, or prime minister. So hammered I can't even say it. Alright, so anyways, let's go to the media folder next. I'm kind of excited to show that because no one's actually seen this before. Kind of wish I wasn't so hammered, but hey, well, I'll try my best. It is the weekend, right? I have an excuse. Alright, I'm going to try to increase the... Oh, right, I can increase the size. Right, so this folder, let's take a look at what it's called. This one, oh, we don't even have the name of it. This one's called the English Mindark Information. So this is just the information in general. I think maybe what I'll do is next time I get some guests on the show is I'll give them copies of these files if they want as like a prize for being on the show. That'd be pretty cool. I know being on my show is probably so horrible that people need prizes to come on. Right, so this is what this one is first. Alright, I think that's big enough for people on cell phones to read. And for people my age. No, that's too big. Alright, so it says, who is Mindark? Mindark operates, develops the Entropia universe. More than a game, a 3D universe for interactive entertainment, social interaction, and trade using a real cash economy. So that's where they talk about it's supposed to be entertainment and social interaction. It's weird how it sort of switched to mining and hunting, right? It's like people playing the game became so antisocial that they went to the side aspects and disregarded the entire social part. I know I do that in real life too. You end up just going home and doing stuff by yourself, right? No comments. Alright, so the company was established. Mindark has successfully completed the development of the product, also built a component organization with the emphasis on developing resources and customer support. You know, it's one weird thing I notice is a lot of people bitch about the customer support in Entropia, but I do find it's one of the best. They have like 24-hour customer support. Today they got back to me in like an hour or two. Alright, so it says now Mindark is going through a growth phase. And this is funny because this is back in 2008, where the board and company management have established a strategy plan for the company's continued development, where a recent share issue, internally earned funds, and key partnership will facilitate a powerful expansion and operation into new markets. So isn't that weird? Is this like in 2008 they were already talking about Calypso land deeds? Because it says they're talking about having like shares, right? A share issue, funds. So if anyone was looking for like the first word that they ever talked about Calypso land deeds, might go back as far as 2008. Right, so here it talks about what is in the Entropia universe. And it talks about how you can create your character and the real cash economy. But what I'd like to emphasize here is where it says the cities, towns, and outposts on the planet Calypso are filled with shops, apartments, auction houses, art galleries. So you can see at the beginning, it was a lot of emphasis on social stuff, like apartments and art galleries. Kind of wish they got back to that. So isn't that weird too? It says it offers the Entropia universe participants the opportunity to open nightclubs, TV and radio stations. So that would be really neat to see in the future. It's like back in 2008, they're talking about nightclubs, TV stations, radio stations, rescue services. I think the rescue service thing is still going. Pilot service, that's still going. So you can see some of the things succeeded and some of them didn't, right? Alright, the global Entropia community is expanding on platform of caters for both entertainment and e-commerce. So they went heavy into the e-commerce and they got away from the entertainment. Alright, so we got another comment from the viewers. Let's see what it is. Alright, so no one likes the team hunts. I know, me and my friend Beamer, we used to do team hunts. But he died actually last May. So it's been over a year now since he died. Kind of really sucks. But yeah, we weren't really big into the team hunts very often. There wasn't very many good ones. Alright, so here you can see that the Entropia was talking a lot about how they didn't have any subscription fees. So that was a big thing before, like, Entropia was one of the first free-to-play games. They talk about the currency and what they called it. I kind of wish they would have called it a different name. Hopefully in the future they'll rename it. I'm not going to be watching any future videos, so I don't have to keep fighting that headphone. Alright, so let's see here. Alright, so when assets become worn, participants pay more in order to repair or replace the asset. So here it's talking about after you have to repair items. Yeah, so here it talks about how the Entropia universe is exchanged for real money and vice versa. Alright, so in Entropia Universe's life cycle, through a system of regular content updates, the Entropia Universe is under constant development by participants exploiting different areas and adding new dimensions to their activity. So this means that the Entropia Universe grows in a scope that attracts new universe at the same time that it offers existing universe or users great interest in continued participation. Yeah, so that's what they're talking about, is Entropia is only good as a community. If it has a really good community, it'll drive more people to join and play. It says, so that's why Entropia is always trying to design new stuff. It talks about the ratio being locked to the US dollar. Holy, this is where it talks about the thing I wanted to mention. If participants wants to convert their money into US dollars, it can be achieved by request by MindArc or through the use of the Entropia Universe cash card. So this is the actual statement that goes back to when the Entropia Universe used the cash card. Isn't that wild? An electronic MasterCard that allows users to purchase goods and services. An account where anywhere the MasterCard brand is accepted. Oh, so at one point, MindArc actually had Entropia linked to MasterCard. So anywhere that you could purchase stuff with MasterCard, you could use your Entropia money. Holy shit, man, that must have been wild. I know Ken used to talk about that too. One of the ways that you can make Entropia more appealing is if you could withdraw faster. I know people mocked his ideas for doing it, but I thought they were kind of interesting. Yeah, one of these days I want to work with Ken on an Entropia episode so we can talk about some of the cool things and things we don't like about Entropia. Try to get some collaboration between fellow Entropians. Yeah, so MindArc's future, or they wanted it to become one of the largest online entertainment, social, and e-commerce platforms in the world. So it's kind of shame that MindArc never succeeded, but can you imagine they did? It could have been the biggest in the world. So that's why I think in Entropia, we shouldn't get too down in the dumps when Entropia is not doing so good, because it actually has big potential. We could actually become the best in the world. And all we have to do is make it work, and maybe with the help of a president, we actually can. Let's hope. And even the way it is now, it's not that bad. Alright, so that's the spiel for the first PDF. So I don't know if anyone's ever seen the PDF files from MindArc's like official DVDs before. That's one of them. Alright, so next let's go on to the next media, and it's the last thing for the presentation. And I'm pretty glad because I'm pretty hammered, and holy shit, this has been going on for over 2 hours. Fuck, is it ever wild when you start drinking booze, right? Time flies. Right, anyways. Alright, so next is the biggest, wildest thing of this entire presentation, and I saved it for last. So let's go with the partnership program. And I can't actually even remember reading this before, so let's see what it is. You know, I've actually watched different shows like on video game channels where someone leaks like a ROM of like a game that was developed but never released to the public, and then they release it to the public and they're like, oh, it's like the archive purposes. That's what I kind of feel like this episode's all about. Alright, so anyways, let's check out the last thing for the PDF file that you can only get on this DVD. So let's see what it says. Looking to expand your business into the virtual world. So this is where I think Entropia was actually like MindArc. Was trying to market the idea of Entropia to other companies and businesses at the convention where I got the DVD. This DVD, where all this came from. Right, the Entropia universe provides a dynamic virtual platform built for real e-commerce. The Entropia universe is a secure virtual universe with a real economy intended for interactive entertainment, social interaction, and trade between players from all over the world. So that's one of the hitches where Entropia came, is I don't think it actually made it global either. Like I'm pretty sure like only specific countries are allowed to play. Even in Canada, it's like actually really hard to deposit money into Entropia. I think with MasterCard you can, but with Visa you can't. So it's very weird. Alright, so all over the world. And with over 500,000 registered accounts, it includes a real cash economy. Speak to any of the business development representatives to find out more about which level involves you. Oh, isn't that weird? I never even noticed that. So one of the things that the Entropia universe offers your company, if you tried to buy a planet or something, it says its brand's closed source system allows for a secure environment, and one of the things they wanted to be free from was free from copyright infringement, socially sensitive issues like pornography and gambling. So isn't that interesting that Entropia is actually anti-gambling, yet some people accuse them of gambling. And they're actually anti-pornography. So that's one of the things I wonder if maybe that's where Entropia went wrong, is they should have been more open to the ideas of pornography and gambling as long as they made the game for 18 plus only. And since the game is 18 plus only now, why don't they try to go for some of the things that they couldn't do before? Some of the things that were hindering them, not being able to do this or this. No, I could see them staying away from the gambling, but maybe adding a little bit more of like actual dances with other players, like this sort of stuff. I don't know, but who knows? Maybe they don't even have to add either of these, but it's just an idea. I like the idea of it not being copyright infringement because that makes it easier. That's cool. So hopefully I don't get any copyright strikes on doing this stuff. Alright, so it says it has some sort of referral program where you can refer your friends and share in the revenue. I doubt that's still going. So it says if you have a business where you want to start an internet cafe and link it to Entropia, you can contact them and they'll find some way to make it possible. That's pretty wild, right? Yeah, in Entropia Universe, they used to have something where you could ask your parents' permission, but that actually changed like a year ago because it got too tied into gambling with the loot boxes and stuff, or those keys. So officially now, you actually have to be 18. You can't ask your parents' permission anymore. I could be wrong about that, but if anyone wants to check, I'm pretty sure it changed within the last few months. Which I kind of like that for the better, because I don't really like running into players that could be kids. I'd rather just know that everyone's an adult, right? Alright, so it's kind of like when you go to the bar, right? You kind of like hanging out with just everyone you know that's adults. You don't always have to be like wondering, is there some kids around pretending to be adults? Oh, here it talks about too, for partners. For partners or corporations with a wealth of content resources to develop and maintain their own virtual presence, talk to us about starting your own virtual planet and using our commercial platform. So that's one of the reasons that Entropia was giving this DVD away at conventions, is they're trying to get people to start their own planet. That's actually one of my dreams. If I actually became a popular YouTuber by doing a whole bunch of travel vlogs and stuff, I would pump enough money to start my own planet in Entropia. So who knows, maybe one day I'll succeed in YouTube. If anyone's watching this video and wants to help and subscribe, really appreciate it. Who knows, maybe we could all be playing on the Leland planet, right? In Entropia Universe. That'd be sweet. So I hope everyone liked the idea of seeing some of this behind the scenes content of what Entropia used to give away, or Mindark used to give away at conventions. If you wanted to give away promotions to businesses. It's pretty wild. Now I'm so glad I was able to hack it, and thanks everyone for making YouTube videos explaining how to rip DVDs and how to dump the files. I don't know, some of these files are pretty much just like the, the application for installing the game. So I don't think the actual old version of the game is on the disc. The disc itself came to about, I think, 2 gigs of data. Could be wrong. Excuse me. Alright, so I guess let's get a quick message from the sponsor, because we haven't done that yet today.
Today's Entropia history video is brought to you by Crunk. It'll fuck you up. Woo! There we go.
Nah. Sorry, I was outside gardening today, and I had some like leaves stuck to my head. And I was like, oh fuck, I recorded a whole episode with leaves stuck to my head. Oh well, at least I realized eventually. Better late than never. The tortoise wins the race sometimes, right? Alright, anyways, let's go to the affiliates links and see what we got there next. Oh yeah, I forgot, not the affiliates. We got the patrons list. If anyone wants to help out my channel, we actually just monetized recently and made it to 1,000 subs, but you can also help out with Patreon. And there's already 5 people that have Suki, Dan, Travis, Ray, and Jim. Sorry, I've been drinking so much it's hard to even finish the show. Sorry, I'll continue. Yeah, so thanks everyone who's helped out with Patreon. And sometimes people leave and sometimes people join, and it's hard for me to keep track, so I just keep the list of everyone who's ever joined. So if you make it on the list once, you're on for good. Unless I can't fit you on the list anymore, then I might cut you. Now there's a whole bunch of benefits for patrons, so make sure you check them out. But in the meantime, the best benefit is you get your name on the list. And just contact me if you want to get a website shouted out also. I think I can do that for patrons, as long as it's a reasonable website. Something you created, I hope. Right, next we'll go to the affiliate links. So if you helped out with Patreon, there's also other ways for anyone who's broke like me. You can do Society 6. You can buy merchandise. Well, I guess that won't work if you're broke. But yeah, finishing quick is my specialty. It comes on t-shirts and bed sheets, both popular with the ladies. I'm actually going to try to start making my own merchandise soon. So Society 6 won't be the only place you can order it. Soon we'll switch to my own store. And Hideout TV pays you to watch videos. Swagbucks will pay you to shop. GameKit pays you to try games. And free Bitcoin is a wallet system for cryptocurrencies. And also get BetFury, so if you like cryptocurrencies other than Bitcoin, make sure you check out both. They also have wallet systems where you can open, what is it called, loot boxes. And they even have free loot boxes. So you can open a free loot box every day and add it to your account and then start your own wallet for cryptocurrencies. It's amazing how many cryptocurrencies BetFury has. Free Bitcoin just uses free Bitcoins. Or it uses Bitcoins that you can get for free and real ones. Well, they're the same Bitcoins. Blah, blah, blah. Anyways, you can also help me out with the Virtual Mate Sex Machine. It's for adults and men only. Perfect for the lockdown situations, especially in Canada. But yeah, even the creators of the Virtual Mate sent me a coupon code for the show. So now you can get $10 off on purchases of over $150 or more. It actually helps me out for each person that does that. So I really appreciate it. Right, so thanks everyone. What else is there? Oh yeah, if the ladies need a sex machine, they know who to call. I'm just kidding. No, it's because it's for men only, right? So, right. Oh yeah, and just make sure you follow the regional laws for all these offers, including the Bitcoin. Make sure you're allowed to use a cryptocurrency. All right, let's go to the fire screen. Right, so if you happen to get any, let's say, vibrant sweat, which we were collecting, and we'll see how much we collected next episode. I know today was pretty much just a history episode. We didn't get too much playing of Entropia, but hopefully next week I'll have more time to play. So yeah, thanks everyone. If you happen to get any vibrant sweat in your vaporizer and it tastes like shit, give the show a dislike. But if it doesn't happen, you can help with a like. Really appreciate it. Just make sure never buy the products from my sponsor.
Because it will ruin your life. Bye for now, everyone. See you later. Later.
Yeah, have a good weekend, everyone. Thanks for watching the show. Oh yeah, and we'll give a shout out to everyone who was in the chat. Let's do that quick. Almost forgot the most important part of the show. Alright, so Garnet joined first. Thanks a lot, Garnet. Sorry I didn't get a hold of Wendy Pack, but if anyone else gets a hold of her, make sure you message that thing that Garnet was talking about. Right, so, or don't, if it's bad. I don't even know. Right, Dan Davis, thanks for the first like. Really appreciate it. Holy shit, we made it up to 5 likes this episode. I bet you if we weren't 3 hours long, we probably would have got even more. Holy shit. Alright, so thanks everyone. Oh yeah, 3 viewers stayed right to the end. Thanks everyone. Really appreciate it. Yeah, and big shout out to Never Die, Mindark, and everyone who allowed me to play the trailers for the Entropia DVD. And to the Fan Expo people that gave me the DVD. And if anyone wants to buy the DVD for like $1 million, just let me know. I would really love to move out of my mom's basement. Or who am I kidding? If I got $1 million, I would just soup up the basement. Alright, so anyways. Oh god. Alright, let's give her a shout out to everyone. We got Dan Davis, Garnet, Peaky, and yeah, that's the 3 people that joined into the chat today. Thanks a lot, everyone. Alright, bye for now, everyone. Oh yeah, let's go to the fire screen. Or did we already? Oh yeah, we already did the fire screen. So thanks for watching, everyone. Bye for now. See you next Entropia episode. Yeah, next Entropia episode, if anyone wants to see any more of the content from the DVD, just let me know. Or if you want to help out the show, you can also buy the stuff in the auction. Or you can also help out my friends in Entropia too. We got Raven Jade's links in the channel below as well. So take care, everyone, and bye for now. Entropia Zine's in there, but I'm not sure if they're still doing new content. If anyone wants to know, or knows, let me know in the chat. Later, bye for now. See ya, everyone. Yeah, I'm sorry for drinking so much. I'll try to drink less next episode. Less slurry. Later, bye for now. Yeah, it'd be nice if everyone had their own planet for free. That would be the ultimate dream. Maybe if the government expands to other planets, we can start doing that. Alright, bye for now, everyone. Take care. Have a good weekend. Try to stay safe and have a little bit of danger. Balance both. Later.